Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dillon Talk Sports. My name is Dillon. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to do my Cleveland Browns mock draft 2.0. I've already done one of these in the past. I did my 1.0 about a month or so ago, where I basically kind of went through the entire 7 rounds and did my Cleveland Browns mock draft. At the time, the Browns had roughly about 7 draft picks. I was able to do a lot of trades, get us up to about 10, 11, 12 draft picks. At the current moment, we have about 5 draft picks now with this mock. I'm able to go in, kind of do a free-for-all, basically to where I can make a bunch of trades, trade in the later rounds, maybe take that 5 draft picks, at least maybe get us up to 7 or 8. We'll see kind of how it goes. But first things first, I want to let you guys know, I just kind of have fun with it. I kind of just free for all. Like I said, we're going to make some trades. We're going to make some picks. Players that I think I want the Cleveland, or I think the Cleveland Browns will take, and then some players that I want the Browns to take. So without further ado, if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, before we go any further, I want to let you guys know that mock draft 1.0 that I said I talked about, I'm going to put that down in the description below, and I'll also put it up there in the top right corner of the screen if you want to go check that video out. But as we can see, like I said, we have pick 54, 85, 156, 206, and 243. Like I said earlier, we had some more picks, but then whenever we made that Jerry Jeudy trade, and there was a few other trades that we made, we had to swap some picks out. So right now we are at pick 54. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit start, and we're just going to let the draft kind of go through. And as you can see, first thing I want to say, the draft is going to be a little bit fucked up. As you saw, J.J. McCarthy going number 1. So I can't control that. There are some sliders in here that I can maybe try and look around and see if there's anything I can change. But from what we can see, it just kind of does whatever the fuck it wants to. But we can see, like, the draft, it just does whatever it wants. So whenever we get to the Cleveland Browns pick, I'll catch it back with you guys. All right, we made it to the Cleveland Browns pick. And as you can see right here, we have pick 54. I can have the choice of either, do I want to just take the 54th pick and pick somebody, or do I want to trade? Right now, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. They're offering up to just trade back to 64, but then they're also going to give us a 4th and a 5th round pick. And we can look through these. I didn't know last time that you could do this. Let's see, the Steelers, I'm not doing any trades with them. And look at this. They're trying to give me 2025 draft picks. Fuck that. Let's see what else we get. We can go back 4 picks with the Packers, but then we can get a 4th and then a couple of late round picks next year. Not really interested. And then we get the Falcons, same thing. Not anything too crazy. I think, if anything, I've rolled with the Chiefs. They're going to give us a lot of picks in this year's draft, so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to accept that trade, and we're going to just let it keep on rolling. The Chiefs can go ahead and take a player, whoever they want. But I think at pick 64, this is where I'm going to take somebody up, and nobody wants to trade with us. Now, this is where we get fun. A player that I've seen a lot of people saying the Browns should go after, and a lot of teams are going to be going after right here at the top of the list, Xavier Legette. If the Browns don't take this guy, he is an exceptional receiver. He's got a big body. He's got good hands. Route running can improve a little bit, in my opinion. From some people say he's good. Some people say he's bad. I think he can improve a little bit. But this guy, if we can get him as pick 64, oh my God, a home run. Okay, we're at pick 85. We have the choice once again. Do we want to trade back all the way to 124, and then maybe we can get like 132. We can get the 7th round, and then we can get a couple of 2025 round picks. I'm going to say no. Let's see what else there is. We got a 5th rounder, and then a couple of later round next year, 7th round, and some late round picks next year. And then we got a 6th and a 7th. Nothing too crazy that I'm going to jump overboard. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to decline all these, and I'm going to just reject that. And I'm going to stay with our draft pick. Yep, I'm going to reject them all. And we're going to take this draft pick. We got pick 85. What do we need? We just took a receiver. What could we go with? Do we need a running back? People said, oh, we're going to draft a running back. Do we need somebody? Nick Chubb, how's he going to do it? Come back from injuries? Do we trust Jerome Ford? Other spots have been D-tackle. Do we go with the defensive lineman? Some of the players that I would have said we go after the D-lineman would have been up in the earlier rounds, but they're not there. So what do we do? I think best case scenario, with the way the draft board looks right now, you got to go with just kind of get depth. I would say right now with the offensive line, Jack Conklin, how well is he going to be? I think he's going to the last year or 2 of his contract. He just came off an ACL surgery. Jedrick Wills, he's in the last year of his contract. Do we need to get replacements there? I would say we probably go tackle, probably go offensive line, and you have 2 choices right here, Patrick Hall and Kieran. I'm not going to pronounce the name, but I think I'm going to go Patrick Hall. It's going to be a nice pick right there. Get some depth with the offensive line, and maybe he can step up in the next few years. All right, we're at pick 131, and we have the Patriots trying to trade with us. Not going to do it. Nothing too crazy there. And then we have the Packers trying to trade with us. Again, a 7th round pick and a couple of later picks next year. I would say the Browns would probably take this offer, because if they're trying to look at their draft picks and they say, well, we have a lot of later round draft picks, maybe we can just go ahead and get a bunch of depth pieces there, plus also the salary of those players will be a lot cheaper. I would say they're probably going to accept it. I'm going to say no to it. I'm going to just go ahead and decline both of them, and we're going to use this 4th round pick. This right here is where I think the Browns are going to take a defensive lineman right there. Leonard Taylor perfectly works out. I think Leonard Taylor, I think I picked him to go to the Browns in my last mock draft for the Browns, but we're going to go with the Leonard Taylor again. We're going to select him at the pick 131, be a huge pickup for the Browns, and I think we would love him in Cleveland. Okay, we're at pick 156, and we got the Vikings. This one entices me because it's only 1 pick back. unless they're going to be going to a player that I would like to have. And there's a player I think on the board that I would like to have, but we're going to kind of look through this. Bills, I don't really know if that's a choice. I mean, you got a 5th for 160. Enticing. Eagles, this one's very enticing. But like I said, I think I might try to start dumping some of these later picks, or maybe just drafting back, trading back, see if we can get into like next year's draft, pile up some draft picks for next year's draft. Cardinals, 150, 62, nothing too crazy. And then Dolphins, that one does kind of interest me. I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins pick, to be honest. Like I said, the Vikings, that one entices me, but that's a 7th rounder. Dolphins are willing to give me a 6th rounder. I think I'm going to accept that trade. I'm going to go ahead and just trade back 2 spots, and we're going to see what they take. Nothing that I needed. Bills are trying to trade up. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go and reject that offer, and we're going to kind of see. And I'm curious to see if the player that I want is on the board. I was kind of watching it. I don't think I saw him. We'll see if he's on the board. Oh, nope, he was taken. I was thinking about taking Blake Corum, the running back from Michigan. I had him in my mock draft last video, but he was taken. Looking at the running backs, nothing too enticing at the spot we're at. None of these backs would really make sense to draft that spot. So kind of looking at the board, what else do the Browns need? Do we need defense? Defense could be valuable. Do we need some depth at the offensive line? No, we just got that. Like I said, running back would have been the big thing right there. So now I'm kind of stuck as to what to do. I think best case scenario right here, you probably want to just go with like the best player available. And I think right now, Gabriel Murphy, if he's there, you take him, get an edge guy, get somebody else. The big thing with the Browns is we don't have anybody, I guess you could say, behind Myles Garrett. You're not going to replace Myles Garrett. You're not going to be able to get a secondary player that, oh, if Myles goes down, hey, you need to go in there and pick up the pace like Myles did. That ain't going to happen. When Myles goes down, that's a big loss. We need somebody that can at least go in there. If like Myles is out there getting 2 sacks a game, we need somebody to be able to go out there and at least get the half sack a game. I think Gabriel Murphy would be a huge spot right there to select, and I'm going to take that. We pick 173. We got the Steelers trying to trade up. Fuck you, Steelers. That ain't happening. We got the Lions trying to trade up, and this is where I think I am going to trade back a little bit. If it's possible, yeah, I think I'm going to take the Lions draft picks. 2025, nice picks to take out of there. Like I said, later round draft picks that we can kind of combine and combobble in the future draft, try to move up in the draft, if you know what I mean. So we're going to go ahead and trade back into the 6th round. I'm going to go ahead and give them that draft pick. They can have it, and we're going to trade back. We have pick 184. We get the Saints trying to trade up. I'm going to decline that one, I think. And then we got the Dolphins. This one kind of entices me, and the Dolphins I just made the trade with. Do I trade that pick as well and go back in the 201? I think I'm going to reject both these offers, and we're going to try to see if we can get somebody at 184. When we get to like 201, 206, 243, I think that's where I'm going to start like dumping the picks if anybody wants them. But 184, this is where I need to try and see if I can get somebody in here. Do I go corner? Do I go safety? I don't really need a defensive lineman at this spot, but I do know the Browns linebacker would be huge, but linebacker, it's kind of a weak draft if you ask me. Do we go with like a Maurice Liafwa, I think is how you say the name, a Tyron Hopper, JD Bernard? Some of these guys could be big time pieces, but like it's one of these things where like, do you just take the best player available, or do you just say fuck the board, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want? I just forgot about a draft pick that I took from last videos, the mock draft 1.0 of the Cleveland Browns. I actually took Joe Milton in that draft, and a lot of people were calling me stupid. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would we go after Joe, the I can't read a defense, Milton? Last time I checked, the past couple weeks, the Browns have been meeting with Joe Milton. They've been talking with him. And I realized, before anybody says anything, we have Deshaun Watson, you got DTR from last season, you got, now we just signed Tyler Huntley, and we still had, like, we already got pretty much your quarterback room kind of filled, I guess you could say. We let Joe Flacco walk. Why would you go draft somebody? Every team drafts a quarterback. There's not, like, it's the teams that you least expect to draft a quarterback are going to draft a quarterback. Especially these late, like, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Like, why would you not want to just draft one of these guys and just make them into a project, see how they do? If you can develop them the right way, you can make a very solid backup out of them. And Joe Milton, the way he plays, if he can be taught the right way, Ken Dorsey, new offensive coordinator, he can teach Joe Milton, make him into a good quarterback, and maybe he can be a good backup behind Deshaun Watson. He'll be a cheap option. 4 years, you get a cheap backup. Tyler Huntley, if he's still there, and then, like I said, DTR. We'll see kind of how it goes, but I think that'll be a solid pickup. So I'm going to go Joe Milton, and we're going to kind of roll with that, and we're going to just see how that does. But right now, we're at 201, 206, 243. I'm thinking about trading away this pick if somebody offers me a trade. Yeah, I'm going to trade that one away because we have 206. I'm going to go and trade this one away. They 49ers are willing to give me a 6th and a 7th next year. Not the craziest thing. I'm going to accept this one, actually. We can trade back a little bit, and maybe we can get some better players. We'll see kind of how this works. Bengals want to give me a trade. I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to reject that one. Yeah, I'm going to reject that one. Maybe we'll take the 206. What do we do now, though? I think this is the spot where the Browns really need to go after linebacker. We need a linebacker, and like I said, Tyron Hopper, if he's available, like I said, 4th, 5th round, not ideal to be taking a linebacker, but now that we're creeping into like the late 6th, getting toward the 7th round, Tyron Hopper will be a huge spot right there to take him. He was big time in the Ohio State, Missouri Cotton Bowl game, so I got to watch him basically firsthand to see kind of how good he is, and that dude wrecked our team. But going forward, I think he'd be a huge pickup for us. Going forward, we're going to pick 213. Let's see what we can do. Is there anything like of value that we can go after? Is like offensive line is there? Maybe we go after a backup tight end. Could we go after another receiver? Could we go after a running back? I think right here, Dillon Labu, I think is how you say his name. Maybe we go after him. I'm still kind of pissed that Blake Corum got taken, and like there was a couple other running backs. I would have liked to take like a Rasheen Ali. I've seen some highlights of him. Jace McLean, he's good. Frank Gore, maybe we go after him. Get the Hall of Fame son on the Browns. But I think I'm gonna go and make a kind of a risky pick, and I'm gonna take Dillon Labu out of New Hampshire. We're gonna take the gamble, and we're gonna take a running back. Last draft pick, we have pick 230 or 243. Last pick of the draft for us. Let's see what we can do. The board is saying take some safeties. There's some edge guys. Maybe another running back. Maybe a tight end. I think I'm going to play it safe. Do we take safety? But I don't really think we need to. We have Juan Thornhill. We got Grant Delpit. Solid players. Maybe we go for depth. I think realistically, the D-line has got banged up every single year. We need to get the depth in there. Braden McGregor was a beast from Michigan last season, and I see why not. Just go ahead and draft him. Get him on the Browns team. Be a solid pickup for us, but we're going to go and let the board play out, and then whenever it's done, I'll catch up with you guys. All right, the board has wrapped up. As you can see here, we have Xavier Legette as our first pick in the second round. We got Patrick Hall at pick 85 at offensive tackle out of Houston. Like I said, good depth piece. Maybe whenever Jack Conklin or Jedrick Wills leaves, we can have a solid offensive tackle player to go and sub in right there. Leonard Taylor can be a good defensive lineman out of Miami. He struggled a little bit in this, last season. Hopefully, he can get back to his old self. Maybe he can excel at a high level with the Browns, with Maurice Hurst, Shelby Harris. These guys can teach him and get him playing the right way down there. Like I said, Joe Milton, he could be a solid backup for the team. He can be, like I said, he's not going to play. That's the thing I think people need to understand. He's not going to play. If we draft him, he ain't seeing the field. He'll play in the preseason. He'll practice, but he ain't seeing the field in live action. There's nothing that's going to get him on the field. Tyler Huntley, I'd rather see Tyler fucking Huntley on the field before I see him. I'd rather see DTR back on the field. Tyron Hopper is going to be a big-time asset to us. JOK, I feel like I think JOK needs to move to inside linebacker, especially the fact that we let Anthony Walker leave. That one still hurts me. But with Anthony Walker leaving, JOK, I think he needs to move to inside our middle linebacker. Maybe we can bring Tyron Hopper in. We also lost Sione Takitaki, so we need to get linebacker help. We can move maybe Harper to outside linebacker. Get a good run stopper. Maybe he can be a good pass defender. We'll see how that goes. And like I said, Dillon Labu, just a good back, just kind of fill in if Jerome Ford isn't panning out, and also if Nick Chubb is not healthy by week 1, we can get another back in there. And then Braden McGregor, a big time piece, could be just another depth piece, kind of like with Gabriel sub another big time piece. Just sub in, rotate, get it, maybe play like 10-15 downs a game, just so that like Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, these guys aren't being just overworked and aren't gassed by the fourth quarter. But for any of you that are curious, as you can see right here, we have all the trades that I made. If you're curious and you want to see every single trade I made, the trade with the Chiefs, trade with the Dolphins, trade with the Lions, and the trade with the Rams. And then, like I said, all the draft picks right here if you want to check them out for yourself. And then, like I said, with the draft being a little bit funky, you can see right here, J.J. McCarthy going number 1 overall to the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Chargers. And then, as you can see, like it gets funky. But other than that, that's gonna do it for my 2.0 Cleveland Browns mock draft. Hopefully, you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you watch or you think the Cleveland Browns should take any of the players I selected, if you think they shouldn't select the players I selected, if you think they maybe should select one of the players, 2 players, none of the players, like I said, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I did poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so, and do never forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second to post. But without further ado, this has been Dillon Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.